Oh, oh man. Oh man. Oh geez, Rick. Hello, engineering fam. Welcome to another episode of Elevated. I am your host, the Elevated Engineer. How's everyone doing today? Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Oh, it's been a hell of a week, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a hell of a week, but we made it to Saturday. So first on our list, we're going to be discussing a little story. I'm sure you all heard about the Russian figure skater. I think her name is Kamila Valieva. I apologize if I say it wrong. Popping for a performance. Ooh, wow. That's not my camera. Okay, we got it. Popping for a banned substance, for performance enhancing substance. So let's go ahead and get right into that. Woo! Yeah. We'll discuss that later. All right, so I got this article from CNN Sports, and I'm probably not going to read the whole thing. I'll probably read a good chunk of it, though. Gives pretty much a background on the whole situation. So let's go ahead and get started. So, Russian figure skater Kamila Valieva, whatever, placed fourth in the women's figure skating final at the Beijing Winter Olympics. By the way, is anybody watching the Winter Olympics? Like, I don't know anybody who's watching the Olympic Winter Olympics. Okay, well, this is just curious. But anyways, capping off more than a week of controversy after the team was cleared to skate despite testing positive for a banned substance. The Russian Olympic Committee still dominated the program, with compatriots Anna Shagara and Alexander Trusova clinching first and second respectively. Japan's Kaori Sakamoto finished in third. I don't even know if we're paying attention to this. Okay. Valieva was tipped for gold in the event, but failed numerous times during her free skate routine. Standing by the 15-year-old was her coach, Yeti. On whom the spotlight now falls. In a sample taken in December prior to the Olympics, Valieva tested positive for the banned heart medication trimetazidine, a drug commonly used to treat angina, and which experts say can enhance endurance by increasing blood flow to the heart. So let's start with that right there. It's interesting. Okay, so as my engineering fam would know, I did a couple of stories on Sha Carri over the summer, right? And I was actually on the side of not taking banned substances while in the Olympics because it's not fair. And I was with the whole, Sha Carri gotta face something, honestly, because you throwing your stuff away for a blunt. Now, granted, her situation was a little different. She was going through some stuff with her family issues. I believe her biological mother had passed, and she was going through some stuff. Okay, but when you got to do stuff that's very important on a world stage, sometimes you just got to just deal with it, right? Now, this girl, Kamila Valieva, took a substance which is known to enhance endurance. And now she was able to skate, perform with her team. And the question I'm sure that's on mostly everybody's mind is it about racism? Now, I think on the surface, yes. Let's keep it real. People like to think that just because it's on a world stage that WS isn't everywhere. like like Russia isn't a, you know, honestly maybe not to the extent of the US, but Russian is a WS state, you know? And it just is what it is, you know? It's come on. Look at the double standard. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it really real. There is a double standard. And you know, Sha Carri comes up with the you know, bright orange and red and blue wigs and all the tattoos. She got a little bit of the attitude, you know, and they're just like, no, you know. But I think on the surface, of course, you know what I mean. Of course, it's a racial thing. Like, come on, let's keep it real. But when you dig a little deeper, you know, this article kind of goes into, you know, her coaches, her parents, or what have you. And let's not forget, people, this is Russia. Okay, Russia got the dopest scandal every week. Okay, that's what they do. That's what they have always done. Like this is Russia. Okay, you know, they probably, you know, pin people down and stick them full of horse of horse blood or something like that. You know, they'll find whatever. So this is Russia. Like, ain't like this is the first time Russia has had a doping scandal at a Olympics. Like, it's kind of like what the Russians are known for. Like, come on, let's keep it real. But back to the parents. Yeah, the parents, the coaches, all the adults that surrounding this girl, you know, they're also to blame. And truth be told, in my opinion, just like with Sha Carri, I do not believe that this little girl should be allowed to compete. I don't give a damn how old she is. I think she's like 15 or 16 or something. I don't care, man. Like, you're still competing. You're competing against adults. She should be treated like an adult while she's competing. So she definitely should be disallowed from competing in the Olympics. Now, I think she placed, what is that? She placed like 4th or something like that. Like, she didn't do well anyway, but so what? She still got to compete. Sha Carri didn't even get to compete. And I can't lie. Over a little bit. I can't lie. You know, the double standard is real. Look, this is what I was talking about. Look at Sha Carri, you know, tattoos and all that stuff. I ain't gonna lie, Sha Carri be looking kind of good. You know what I mean? I'm also not gonna lie. Just because I'm a real nigga, if I run up on Sha Carri, I'm putting my bid in. That's what I'm saying. She like she got some fire. You know what I mean? She like she got some fire coochie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. She do. I can't lie. But she like she got some fire coochie, Sha Carri. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. Sorry. But no, with Kamila, yeah, this is clearly a double standard. Clearly, they need to be looking at the parents and adults in this situation, because this is definitely something that really affects the world going forward. I mean, this is something that we can actually look at and say, like, oh, this is the very, very open double standard. I think, if I'm not sure, the U.S., we didn't pull our athletes, which I don't think we would, but I think there's no like political support in the U.S. because of the whole Russia-Ukrainian conflict, which I actually will be talking about as the next topic. But I digress. This is a clear example of, let's keep it real, the double standard of just this black woman being treated differently than this pasty white woman, white girl, right? Now, I'm not gonna roast Kamila because she's like 15, and I don't really get off on roasting little girls like that. That's not my thing. But it is a very clear example of why, honestly, like a lot of these athletes, I'm not gonna tell them to not compete in these events because they work their butts off to compete in the Olympics, but it really makes you like look like, man, why are we even doing this? Like, again, you get to the endorsements, you get the publicity, you get to compete against the best, blah blah blah. But I'm talking about for black folks. Why are we even like doing this? Like, it's kind of like the Super Bowl. When they have the Super Bowl halftime show, when the artists perform and they don't get paid or anything, and I didn't even watch this year's Super Bowl. It wasn't really interesting. I really don't be watching sports like that. Like, I will go to a Heat game because I love I love the Heat. I'll go see LeBron play against the Heat, and I love the environment at the FTX Arena, which is it's popping. But will I sit and put my all my hopes and dreams into a sports team? Like, I have no control over it. It will not make a difference in my life, and it's really just an example of domination. Not really, unless it's fighting. I watch fighting, of course, because me in my background, as a martial artist, of course I want to see fighting, but fighting is different. But with these Olympics, man, they want to take away your ability to free speech. They don't want you to talk about certain subjects. By you, I mean the athletes. Don't even get up there talking about race. America ain't having that. I guess it's the land of the free, whatever. But I just think that going forward, black folk, most of us ain't gonna do it. But maybe I can hope and pray that we need to really look to, like, there's no really replace the Olympics, but we really need to start looking into just not competing in these types of events where we're not going to be respected. I mean, it's very clear that Sha Carri was definitely treated differently. Granted, they didn't take away her endorsements and all that, but But to be fair, they also did roast Phelps, Michael Phelps. They did roast Phelps, and Phelps wasn't even competing when they took a picture of him smoking what could be bud. He never popped for anything. And they took away his endorsements. They tried to take away his gold medals, and this was after the competition. So, to be fair, a lot of it's about politics too. So, with that being said, next topic. Yeah. Let's watch this little speech from Jim Crow Joe real quick on the Ukrainian conflict. He's talking about, like, and CNN or NBC, whatever. Don't copyright your boy, man. I'm just using it for fair use for educational purposes.
The ones I promised will be imposed if he moves, number one. Number two, we're in a situation where Vladimir Putin is about to, we've had very frank discussions Vladimir Putin and I. And the idea that NATO is not going to be united, I don't buy. I've spoken to every major NATO leader. We've had the NATO-Russian summit. We've had the OSCE has met, etc. And so I think what you're going to see is that Russia will be held accountable if it invades. And it depends on what it does. It's one thing if it's a minor incursion and then we end up having a fight about what to do and not do, etc. But if they actually do what they're capable of doing with the force amassed on the border, it is going to be a disaster for Russia if they further invade Ukraine, and that our allies and partners are ready to impose severe cost and significant harm on Russia and the Russian economy. And, we're going to fortify our NATO allies. I told them on the eastern flank, if in fact he does invade, I've already shipped over $600 million worth of sophisticated equipment, defensive equipment, to the Ukrainians. The cost of going into Ukraine in terms of physical loss of life for the Russians, they'll be able to prevail over time, but it's going to be heavy. It's going to be real. It's going to be consequential. In addition to that, Putin has a stark choice: either de-escalation or diplomacy, a confrontation of the consequences. Look, I think you're going to see, for example, everybody talks about how Russia has control over the energy supply that Europe absorbs. Guess what? That money that they earn from that makes about 45% of the economy. I don't see that as a one-way street. They go ahead and cut it off. It's like my mother used to say, you bite your nose off to spite your face. It's not like they have all these wonderful choices out there. I spoke with the Prime Minister of Finland. And, we're talking about concern on the part of Finland and Sweden about what Russia is doing. The last thing that Russia needs is Finland deciding to change its status. They didn't say they're going to do that, but they're talking about what, in fact, is going on and how outrageous Russia is being. We're finding ourselves in a position where I believe you'll see that there'll be severe economic consequences. For example, anything that involves dollar denominations, if they invade, they're going to pay. Their banks will not be able to deal in dollars.
That's very interesting. So, be honest, black folk. Be honest. Do you really give a fuck? Do you really give a fuck? Honestly, be honest. Everyone. Engineering fan, do you really give a fuck? Do you? Do ya? Honestly, you kind of should. But at the same time, you ask most Americans where Ukraine is, and they are not going to be able to find it on a map. Okay? Including me as one of them. Because I look like going to Ukraine. But we are gearing up. I mean, I think I seen they sent around, or they're planning to send around like 8,000 troops to the border. I don't know. Like, I feel like, I'm definitely not an expert on Ukrainian, NATO, Eastern Europe, former Soviet Union, Russian issues. I am definitely not an expert. I have some expertise, obviously, but I'm not an expert. What I will say is that I believe wholeheartedly that right now is not the time for a new conflict with American forces, ground troops. This is, frankly, look, I mean, what is the point of NATO if they can't respond to Russian aggression? that's kind of the entire reason that NATO was created. And if we, the United States, are putting boots on the ground, as they like to say, then what is the point of NATO? Like, should NATO really be a respected authority? Because it seems like it's just the U.S., as usual, that's going in to these conflicts with Russia. And we're going to sanction them. Well, I mean, but we always sanction them. Okay, what is sanctioning really going to do? Yeah, it's gonna choke them out a little bit. I mean, and I guess you want to sanction before going to full-on armed conflict, which, okay, yes, most definitely, but what is it really going to solve? I mean, I feel like this is kind of Biden having a semi-tough on Russia stance. So, I look, it was only, where we at? We are in February. It was only about 6-7 months ago that we, frankly, was running with our tail between our legs from Afghanistan in a war we shouldn't even been in. Like, we shouldn't even been in Afghanistan past 2003, 4. But here we are, 2022. We pulled out in 2021, kinda, but we still in Iraq, we still in Syria, the al-Assad, the Bashar al-Assad regime is still there. We still dealing with ISIS or whatever they call now, ISIL. We're still dealing with, in about 20 years, we're probably gonna be doing business with the Taliban. Maybe not Al Qaeda, because who knows? But we probably gonna be doing business with the Taliban. Honestly, we probably our Taliban partners, blah 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 blah. So, okay. But in terms of with this Russia situation, like, I don't see the United States of America going to a full-on, be-all, end-all, world-ending war with Russia anytime soon. It just seems like that's contrary to really what's going on in the world right now. I mean, truth be told, the world is not in the mood for war after just barely eking by a pandemic, right? A worldwide pandemic that affected every man, woman, and child on this planet. We want to really start a new war now. And I was actually having this discussion the other day about Republicans versus Democrats. As many in the engineering fam know, I'm neither Republican nor a Democrat. I don't support either party. I support policies. But let's keep it real. Republicans are the party of war. I mean, they really, at least they have been for the last century. So it's like, if you look at all the major conflicts, or at least the majority of major conflicts started by America was started by Republican Party. Democrats, they kind of end wars, kind of, not really. they are pro-war, but the Republicans start wars. Biden doesn't look like a strong leader, It just is what it is. I mean, the guy is 98 years old. He barely beat Trump. He's not a popular president right now. I don't think he was ever really intended to be a popular president. Whoever comes in 2024, if he doesn't win, which is looking tough right now. If it's a Republican, he's probably he or she, but probably they're probably gonna try to get another war started. I don't really know how much that really affects black folks as much. I think they're going to make it seem like it does, but I don't think it really does. But if a Democrat comes in, I don't know who the Democrat is going to be if Joe Biden doesn't decide to run. I thought he has said he will run. You know, they're pro war. They are pro war from Congress, but from presidency, they're a little more hesitant to just go full on. You know, all that. You know, Vietnam and all that stuff. But they're all pro war. At the end of the day, they are all pro war. So I think that's something we need to take into consideration when you're voting in 2024. You know me. I'm for whoever go cut the check. You know what I mean? Whoever go cut that reparations check is who I'm messing with. So, at the end of the day, Russia, Ukraine, I'm sure it has some geopolitical consequences. I'm sure the shit can get real, tomorrow if both sides really wanted it to. I'm sure that Vladimir Putin is going to do whatever it takes to reestablish Russian territory in the old Soviet Union. I'm sure that's what he's gonna do. But I've been asking myself lately, like, is that really my issue? Like, is that really my problem? I don't know. So, moving on. Oh, by the way, drop a like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Drop a comment. Debate me in the comment section if you agree with me, if you don't agree with me, whatever. Just support the channel so it can grow. So we can get more stuff accomplished and get bigger and blah blah blah. So yeah, with that being said, I wanted to touch on, there's gonna be a Get On Code update. Woo! Dropping, I'm gonna drop it Sunday. So what are we talking about? All right, so let's get back into let's put our nerd gear back on, whatever that means. Our nerd hats. So this particular video is going to be, I'm doing a big Python data science series, right? Each video I drop is pretty much adding to that. This one in particular is about NumPy. If you don't know, NumPy is like a statistical analysis extension of Python, and it's used heavily to run all types of operations on data sets, right? So this is basically the beginnings of the data science learning experience that I'm going to be doing. Obviously it's gonna be through Python again. Yeah, I'm excited. This one's kind of fun because it's really focusing on getting that down to the nitty-gritty of data analysis and data science. So really, just really going through data and just producing results. So this is going to be very useful for people who want to get into data science or data engineering, or really someone who's just doing like data analysis and stuff. This is the stuff you're going to be using when you get to your job, or if you want to start your business or whatever. Just doing some projects. That's for fun. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. That's going to be dropping. I'm definitely that's going to be part one. I think with NumPy, I'm probably going to do maybe 3 parts for NumPy. And yeah, I hope y'all are going to like it, because I know I have fun making it. You know, I have fun sharing it. I have fun because it's just as much a learning experience for me as it is for you all watching it. So, you know, I get to learn stuff over myself, learn stuff about NumPy, blah blah blah. So, yeah, I hope y'all enjoy it, man, because yeah, it'll help you. So, with that being said, that's today's episode of Elevated. Thanks again, engineering fam. Peace. That's it.